I thought for this video, let's do something a little bit different. Let's go back in history and look at the very first steps I took in this game, see some of the terrible disasters that I built in here, and also I think some surprisingly nice things. The thing with this zoo, of course, is that the further literally into the zoo you go, you will see that I improved a little bit and learned things about the game. And also, the beginning of this zoo did get a lot of revamps because I made a lot of mistakes early on. But I thought I'd do a quick something a little different here and take a look at where I started, so you could compare it in other videos with where I am now. So this is Zoologique Le Bol. This is a zoo started in franchise mode. I just loaded it in sandbox mode. And let's take a look at what we have here on the entrance plaza, which is big enough and features some snacks and some picnic tables. And we have here a tortoise habitat, obviously infested with tortoise babies, which is, you know, if you've played with these tortoises, you know that that is the way they go. A very simple, decent little habitat. What else do we have here in the entrance plaza? A red panda habitat, which used to be an ostrich habitat, if I seem to remember. Also, right here at the entrance is a very messy staff zone. You can choose where to go. I think we'll go to the right over here. And this is the timber wolf habitat, which is one of the first places where I realized, yeah, you can build stuff out of rocks. You can rotate them and move them around, and I built some, you know, interesting shelters, which they do use, and placed some foliage right there at the back. This was the first habitat that I really thought, yeah, now I've got the hang of it. Now I've really figured out this game. What else is over here? You have the saltwater crab. No, these are the gharials in a large pond, living next to you'll never guess, the grizzly bears in sort of sloping down river area. All decent and nice enough. Of course, in lots of zoos you won't really see overhead, passovers for guests over dangerous animals. It's just not something you do. Right, I think we'll actually move to another area first, because this is something I really wanted to highlight. This is the anteater, a very large anteater habitat to your left, which is kind of bland. Features these large cherry blossom trees, and at the other end I think this is completely empty now. I think this was the African wild dog habitat, but I don't think... Oh, there is one in here, you poor little boy. Or girl, I don't know who you are. And a large crowded dome where you could view the indoor areas for both. I think there's just one wild dog in here, which is kind of sad. Then a blueprint planted area. Started using more blueprints at this point. This is sort of the reptile zone, with a completely devoid of life, I believe, Komodo dragon habitat. I really liked these shelters made out of rocks and some, probably the ugliest plant piece in the game added on top of it. And I still like the look of this area. I still like the bricks, sort of the wavy design of these habitats. I still think this is nice. The detailing around the pathing is very bare bones. I don't think there's anything in here at this point as well. This is a very ill-managed zoo. This is the Komodo dragons. If you go up here, you get a view of the peafowl garden. The peafowls were the first animals I put into this zoo, but peafowls are so prone to overbreeding and disease that I built them this sort of walk-through garden with a lot of inbreeding. All of these white peafowls are inbred and escaping, actually. Get back in there. Hey, no! Okay, anyway, these guys are escaping, but these are all, of course, using contraception. What else is in here? I actually don't remember myself To our left we have a lemur habitat with these glass house tunnel, which again is still a nice idea and something I haven't really reproduced since. I think this is a cool idea. I think it has a lot of atmosphere, and I think it's something that I should try again actually. Now that I look at it, I like this idea. Here is one of the first complex habitats that I made for the seal. So much effort went into this annoying design. The seals would refuse to climb up here. I wonder if they still can. I don't think there's... Here. I'm going to assume that this guy can't move any further than this. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Enough said about that. I've struggled building this habitat and it still doesn't work. And to the right is a tapir habitat with the classic, South American pack pieces. A nice enough habitat, but the detailing in this zoo is not up to the levels that I can do today. This can lead you to this penguin habitat, which is a blueprint from the base from the aquatic pack. It's nice enough. You can look at them from several angles. Very ugly area here in my personal opinion. You can go here and then you can walk around this jaguar temple. Also a blueprint from the game. Doesn't really add much, and then you have this large jaguar area, which is okay, What else is here? A very basic African buffalo and warthog habitat. Right over here. This is a bit of a special area. This is a blueprint from the base game, and I was going crazy on planting flowers. I thought the trademark of this zoo is going to be a lot of flowers, so I spammed flowers and built this flamingo habitat with a shelter that I was very proud of, right? This sort of hidden under the flowers design, where the flamingos could hide under. And it's a cool habitat, it's a cool idea, I don't dislike it. Inside of this glass house, if I recall, are some exhibit boxes, lots of plants, which I believe come with the blueprint. We'll save this area for later, because there's some more stuff in here. This is another jaguar habitat. This started out as an African lion habitat, but I was not happy with how much shadow there was in the habitat, and it felt, inappropriate for lions to live in a pit, so I changed it up for the jaguar. So you have viewing from on top, and you actually have a underground atmospheric look at this place. Again, something that I don't dislike these days, something that I'm proud of making. I think it has a lot of atmosphere. But yeah, 2 jaguar habitats in this zoo for some reason. We have a walk through the woods here, connecting you to this main area of the zoo. For some reason I really like this walk through the trees part of the zoo, which again, if I execute it just a tad better, it still has some future potential. I think this zoo is something that I sort of mocked myself when I learned to play the game a little bit better, but looking back at it, it has some original ideas that I haven't really tried again, and that I should maybe try again someday. This part of the zoo is what I'm the happiest with. This is a large river with a boat going through it, and then you have a very large path around it, way too big. This would take you an hour, to walk around. But I really like the look of this river, and I think in different settings of light, I don't know which one I'm going for. Is it morning, perhaps? It takes a lot of atmosphere and vibe, and this is something that I don't know if I can recreate. Something about this is just kind of unique. I really like the look of this thing, and I think if I return to Bolo Bolo, which I will, I really want to try and recreate something like this. Recreate this large savanna vibe with the large water, because I'm still a fan of it. Although I included the pronghorn in here. I don't know if it's still in here, the pronghorn antelope, because I didn't know at the time that the pronghorn was a North American animal. So this is an ostrich part. I believe this is the saltwater crocodile, because, you know, I also didn't realize the saltwater crocodile lives in Australia. Then you have, obviously, you know, the obligatory very large lion habitat, deliberately very large, with this Pride Rock blueprint I didn't make myself. I think they deserved a very big habitat to live in. I still do. I still build very large habitats. If I ever return to my second franchise mode, you'll see that I really went overboard there. You have the giraffe here and some antelopes, and then all the guest amenities. And I believe there's a very random, yes, here it is. This used to be at the entrance, the cassowary habitat, but now it's randomly placed next to the African habitat. That is, there's a train running around the whole thing. That is the first zoo I made, and by the time I built this part of the zoo, I thought I can do better. I want to create something more realistic, and I went on to make a zoo called Bolipolis, which was supposed to be located somewhere in Spain in a hot area, and that is something that I'll also show you. So yeah, you guys in the comments tell me, is this zoo a masterpiece? Is it a mess? Should I go back and redo some parts of this zoo? I think that's a fun exercise. Should I steal parts of this zoo for future zoos? I still like the general idea of this, although I would want to offer the guests some more realistic, you know, I don't think many guests will want to make this loop on foot. I think that the boats would be far more popular. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. If I should also tour my other two franchise parks, which show their age in many ways and don't reflect my current skills, or if I should just stick to showing you Bolo Bolo, and also in the near future my city zoo, which started as a city zoo, called Parlebal. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this different kind of zoo tour. It wasn't a walking tour, just a fly through, but I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching, guys.